February 3rd of 1959, the day the music died. A plane crash that killed 3 young rock and rollers, Buddy Holly, Ritchie Valens, and the Big Bopper, J.P. Richardson. Buddy Holly was only on this planet for a very short 22 and a half years, but in that time created a legacy that has never faded away. Whether it was his hits like Peggy Sue, That'll Be the Day, Learning the Game, Rave On, oh boy, his hits were endless. His influence, just as big. Inspiring and influencing young rock and rollers named the Beatles, who all the way from the UK became sensations and are still regarded as one of the best bands of all time. The Rolling Stones, who actually got massive on covering one of Buddy's songs called Not Fade Away. From there, they were launched into superstardom. And of course, the Rocket Man himself, Elton John, who credits Buddy as being one of his biggest sources of inspiration. Waylon Jennings, who was a Buddy Holly friend and fan, helped get his first big break alongside Buddy Holly and became the outlaw countryman that we all knew and loved all those years later. Buddy was an innovator. He was a visionary. He was the first to have his entire band on an album cover, because back then it was just a solo artist thing. The innovation and the stuff that he would do for his time has long been documented, and all these years later still lives on. He really got robbed of a all-time great career, and as all-time great as it was only for 3 years. Imagine if he would have got 30 or 40 out of it rather than what he was able to get, and it's still amazing to see he's commemorated for the great talent that he was, whether it's the Walk of Fame, but people know him more so nowadays of the song from Weezer. And as great as that song is, Buddy was so much more than just that. It was a massive disservice to the fans that know him, and his appreciation and his inspiration and his influence can't be understated. This guy was a pioneer in the game of music. He was one of the best rock and rollers of all time. Back in a time where they thought it was only going to be a fad, he made it to where it's no longer a fad, it's a genre, it's its own art form. And that's the biggest compliment you can possibly take away, is that all these years later people still love and remember a guy that was only around for 22 years, career for 3 years, but in his time here he really made an impact. A one-of-one generational talent that's legacy will never fade away.